This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes. Thank you for joining us tonight. Our top story this evening, a historic vote today on Capitol Hill as House Republicans pass their plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. The current bill will end the penalty for those who don't have insurance. It also phases out the expansion of Medicaid. States will also be able to opt out of the requirement that insurers cover basic health services, including maternity care, mental health treatment, and even ambulances. In a ceremony in the Rose Garden of the White House today, President Trump gave a new wave of promises following the vote.
As far as I'm concerned, your premiums, they're going to start to come down. We're going to get this passed through the Senate. I feel so confident.
The bill passed in a 217 to 213 vote. No Democrats voted for the bill. It must now head to the Senate for a vote where it faces a tough battle and could see several revisions. As for our two congressmen representing the Suncoast, both Representative Tom Rooney and Representative Vern Buchanan voted in support of the American Health Care Act. And if it becomes law in its current form, this health care reform could mean different things for different people. Your age, your health record, your financial status all play a role in your coverage. ABC7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live from Sarasota Memorial Hospital with a look at what this effort to revamp healthcare could mean for you and your family.
Good evening, Haley. If you're older, you could end up paying 3 times the premium that a younger person pays for the exact same plan. Some people who are currently on Medicaid won't qualify anymore. And if you have a pre-existing medical condition, your coverage options could be limited.
I'm very uneasy and very afraid of what this might mean to me and many other people.
Debbie Sergi Laws has been living with HIV for 30 years.
Health care in itself, though, has been extremely expensive. It seems to be always an additional stress, making it very difficult to try to stay well.
But she says Obamacare lowered premiums, making it easier for her and others fighting the virus.
I found many of them were able to get additional care that they never had gotten before.
Healthcare coverage for those with pre-existing conditions, like Debbie, could soon change with the recent amendment of the GOP healthcare plan.
What they're doing is they're allowing the states a little bit more freedom, so there's not a one size fits all.
States could decide whether or not to continue with the rules protecting those with pre-existing conditions, or they could create a high-risk pool to cover those individuals.
They're still able to get the federal funding, but they're also saying, you know what, if we want to do it our own way, we can file a waiver, and let's say we don't want to deal with it the way the federal government is telling us to do it. Maybe we want to deal with pre-existing conditions in another manner, and that's what this amendment, the MacArthur Amendment, is allowing the states to do.
The bill allocates $8 million over 5 years to go to states that apply for the waiver to help cover the costs of care for people with pre-existing conditions. Trump's administration claims that under no circumstance can people be denied coverage because of a pre-existing condition. But those with pre-existing conditions could be paying more. Other changes that would come with this health care reform, you would no longer be required to have insurance, and you wouldn't be penalized if you do not have it. Also, health insurance companies would be required to cover maternal care, prescription coverage, and also mental health care. Live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Jess. Governor Rick Scott made a stop on the Suncoast today as part of his tour across the state to discuss the state budget. Scott is advocating for funding for Visit Florida and Enterprise Florida. The latest $83 billion budget was crafted largely in secret, but in the latest budget proposal, funding was killed for Enterprise Florida, while funding for Visit Florida was cut nearly 70%. Governor Scott says the move will severely impact the number of jobs in the state.
This is your money. This money needs to be allocated the way you care. I can tell you, I travel the state. I don't know how many hundreds of people I talk to a day, but you know what they want? They want a job. I don't meet anybody that says I want to be on unemployment or food benefits or public housing. They want a job. What I'm talking about, that I want everybody to call their House and Senate members on, is about jobs.
This is the second day of Scott's 3-day tour across the state. He's expected to visit 10 cities in all. New details tonight over a proposed development that's causing controversy in Manatee County. During tonight's County Commission meeting, planning staff revealed there was an inaccuracy in the report they were given. They say they made their recommendation of approval thinking only 2 high-rises would be built, but developers plan on building more. Now, developer Carlos Maroof must supply additional information on the number of buildings he plans to build, where he plans on building them, and their height. The planning board will then need to vote on the plan again. A continuation of tonight's meeting was scheduled for May 17th, has been delayed pending the outcome of the Planning Commission's vote. And now for a check on our forecast and an update on some of the storm systems Bob was following tonight. Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, really a pretty nice night, Haley. Not much going on right now. Things are fairly calm. The calm before the storm. We are going to see some storms pop up, though, in the Gulf of Mexico. Unfortunately, during the time when people are in their deep sleep, I think. 76 degrees right now. Dew point way up there. Lots of moisture to work with right now at the surface. Anyway, winds out of the south at 14. The pressure has been falling to 9.81 inches. And it looks as though we will see showers as storms develop here in the Gulf. Right now it looks rather quiet, and it is quiet out there. The actual front right there, so it's still over the northeastern Gulf of Mexico. The storms that moved through earlier didn't do a whole lot. They brought a few showers. They were very strong, about 100 miles to 150 miles offshore, right around 3, 4 o'clock, but they fizzled out as they made their way closer and over the shelf where the water temperatures are a little bit cooler there. A live sweep of the radar not indicating any rainfall around. I mentioned the rain, it wasn't much, just a little bit here and there, really 2/100ths of an inch in the eastern portion of Manatee and Sarasota counties. Now, this particular forecast model is interesting. It's not initialized very well. This is at 11 o'clock. This is what it's supposed to look like right now, but it's not. So take this with a grain of salt. There are really showers and storms developing by 2:30, maybe a little later than that, simply because they're not out there right now. But I do suspect by 4 o'clock there will be storms around. They'll be over land. They'll be in the Gulf of Mexico. And some of those could be moderately strong. Right now the severe weather threat isn't all that great, but by 8 o'clock, after a little bit of heat of the day, we'll start to see the possibility of severe weather. But I think by then that front will be to our south for the most part. We'll just see how the timing goes right now. Still could be some big storms over western portions of Charlotte County, but this is at 8 a.m. And then it will turn windy and much cooler. We'll have the details on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you, Haley.
Thank you, Bob. In national news tonight, more than a dozen kids are being treated for injuries after a school bus accident in Las Vegas. The bus was on its way to a Las Vegas middle school when a car crashed into it, causing it to roll over with 48 kids inside. The kids were able to escape through the roof hatch.
We flipped over, and then I opened the door and I helped a couple people get out. I helped my brother get out, and I tried to help the bus driver.
The driver of the car was killed in the accident. A child who was also riding in that car is in the hospital in critical condition. The 14 students injured on the school bus are expected to be okay. In the Midwest, at least 7 people have died in Arkansas and 5 people in Missouri have died as the region continues to deal with heavy rainfall and flooding. Rushing water submerged homes, forcing the people inside to flee.
Our world just crashed, you know.
When you got kids and you lose your home, like a matter of hours, it's just devastating.
The Missouri State Highway Patrol says flooding has closed nearly 300 roads. While some of the water has started to recede, more rain is in the forecast. Final details are being ironed out before the start of a triple murder trial. Today in court, prosecutors debated on whether to allow crime scene and autopsy photos into the trial. Avalos is facing 3 counts of first-degree murder. Detectives say in 2014, Andres Avalos killed his wife and her friend in Northwest Bradenton and then went to a church on US 41 and killed the pastor. The owner of the Pulse nightclub in Orlando is announcing the site will now become a memorial and a museum to honor the 49 people who were killed. The site will serve to educate future generations about the importance of tolerance. Barbara Poma started the nonprofit One Pulse to help raise money for the memorial. She says the survivors of the massacre, the family members, and the Orlando community will all help make decisions about the design of the memorial.
Remember, we will not let hate win. We will heal together, and Pulse will always continue to be the heartbeat of Orlando.
The Pulse nightclub shooting was the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history and the nation's worst terror attack since 9/11. Trayvon Martin is receiving a college degree. Florida Memorial University will award him a posthumous bachelor's degree in aeronautical science. His parents will accept the degree on his behalf at the school's commencement on May 13th. His mother is an alumnus of the school. Martin was killed 5 years ago by George Zimmerman at the age of 17. Zimmerman was acquitted of second-degree murder in that case. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with the official Suncoast forecast. Plus, why President Trump is in New York City for the first time since his inauguration, and a push by the Community AIDS Network to help stop the spread of HIV on the Suncoast.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
When you've been in banking for a long time, it's easy to forget what it was like in the beginning. It took a lot of work and dedication for 7 teachers to start our credit union and create a foundation that we continue to build on today. At Achieva, we never lose sight of the values that have defined us for over 75 years. We know you need mobile banking and lightning-fast solutions, but sometimes you might just need a helping hand. Any bank can make a transaction, but it takes a little more to make a difference. And that's good to know. Achieva, banking for good.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting loose salon.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Florida Studio Theater presents Older Than Dirt, now playing in the Court Cabaret. Come celebrate the ups and downs of getting older. From joints popping to mirrors mocking, this show combines some of the funniest songs ever written for a witty and heartfelt 360-degree view of aging. Don't miss what critics are calling hilarious, incredibly creative, that has many laugh-out-loud moments. Older Than Dirt is now playing. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting floridastudiotheater.org.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Bob, I don't know if I'm going crazy, but when I walked outside, I think it felt a little cooler.
Yeah, it was. It's a little bit cooler. Rain-cooled air, we call it. But what happened was actually the rain kind of evaporated into the atmosphere. We had big storms out there in the Gulf of Mexico. It looked rather ominous. People were a little upset too because they saw it and they were going, "Whoa!" And then it faded away. And I kind of posted that on our Facebook page. You know, it's weakening. And it looks like it's continuing to do so. But I think the next line that develops won't do so much. Boy, very ominous looking though and scary. What happens is those storms dissipate out there or they weaken. They still have a lot of downdrafts, and those downdrafts kind of feed out ahead of the line, and that causes this roll cloud that you see here. Taken by meteorologist Josh Stone and sent in. Appreciate that. And I talked to Haley yesterday. We had a cat story for our kicker, and I said, you know, I took a picture of a dog. Well, there it is right there, and you got to admit, it looks a little bit like a dog. Yeah, a little poodle. Just kind of running through the sky there. So I wanted to make sure I showed you that. I told you I'd show you that. Weather headlines, storms developing, possibly strong. Much cooler weather is on the way behind this. Now, a lot of people complaining last week it was too hot. Well, this weekend it's going to be nice and cool. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s to low 60s to start things off on Saturday morning and even Sunday morning. Well, out here is where we'll look for the storms to develop out ahead of the actual cold front. We're starting to see some returns, but not nearly as many as the models were initializing. So I think the storms will again pop up around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Some of those could be rather strong. Here's the driving system. This is the area of low pressure now making its way through Tennessee, and then the attendant cold front now slicing through the panhandle of Florida and continuing to advance in our direction. There's not a lot out there right now, so as far as severe weather goes, it doesn't appear that it's going to be much of a severe weather event, but there's always a possibility, especially with water temperatures now in the low 80s. That will always aid to somewhat to the storm. 76 right now, dew points at 70. The pressure is also dropping now at 29.81 inches, and winds are out of the south at 14. That's bringing the warm, moist air our way in advance of that front. 87 degrees the high today. 84 is our normal, and 94 the record set back in 1991. And I know we need it. We need the rain desperately. We need a lot more than we had earlier today, and I think we'll get it for the most part, mainly around 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning as the front works its way through. I think by sunrise, most of it should be out of here. Now, there'll still be some storms lingering behind the heavier weather, but as far as the overall rainfall event goes, I think it should be done by 8 o'clock. Most of the viewing area. There could be some inland storms still progressing through Highlands County. Here's a look at that RPM model. I mentioned it's initializing storms out here already, but we don't see those. So this one has some showers arriving at 3 a.m. I think more so the combination will be anywhere from 4 to 5 o'clock for Manatee County, and then really kind of fills in at 6 a.m. with some heavier storms to the south and east of us. And then by 7:30, starting to clear out of here, and then basically inland storms and out of our viewing area by 9 a.m. Friday. And then the real cold and at least cooler weather moves in, and windy weather too. So small craft advisories are in effect for our viewing area in coastal waters all up and down west central Florida. Severe weather threat is marginal right now at best, with the best chances near that area of low pressure as it works its way through the Carolinas, and that's what it's going to do. Behind it, some very dry air will settle in. And as far as that cool weather goes, you can kind of see it dropping down in the southeast with the blues and greens there. So it's going to be a nice weekend. We are anticipating temperatures to be below average, something we haven't been able to say all spring long. Small craft advisory in effect. Seas will be 5 to 7 feet, 4 to 6 on Saturday, subsiding better on Sunday. So Sunday will be the best of the boating days. 73 for a high tomorrow for area beaches. Low tide upcoming 4:21. High tide will be at 10:43, and sunrise at 6:48. Tonight, expect mostly cloudy skies overnight, showers and storms developing. Southwest winds will be breezy too, and then tomorrow we'll have the showers tapering off around 9 o'clock for most areas, and then partly cloudy by the afternoon, breezy and cooler, 76 for a high. The extended forecast is calling for temperatures comfortable on Saturday and a nice start on Sunday. Starting to warm back up though as early as Sunday afternoon, and back into the upper 80s on Wednesday. Well, I had a great day for fishing. Again, a beautiful day out there on Wednesday, and went out with Captain Johnny Walker's grandson, Trey. Enjoyed some fine boating conditions. As I said, it could be tough boating on in through the weekend. Here's more. The top draft pick, not for the NFL, but for the Suncoast, is this rookie captain, Trey Walker Dietz. Scouts are already saying he has the potential of challenging his grandpa, Captain Johnny Walker. I can tell you this, he's got a long road to hoe. Today's customers, Sarah and John Albritton, who know a thing or two about fruit and fishing. Freelining some big greenbacks near some mangroves, it's first fish on for Sarah. Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
I saw him slapping it, man.
We got dubskis.
Look at that, little snooky sir. Oh. Here's another little double over. Oh, you got it in first. That's right, 2 on right off the bat.
A woman will do it. If you bring your wife on the boat, you get the bigger one, right?
You got it. It stayed that way for a while, too, as Sarah kept reeling them in.
Yes, sir, they are out of season. They closed, what was it, 2 days ago? Yeah, or 2 days ago, something like that. So, this is all catch and release.
But it wasn't just snook we were catching.
Snook, and then all of a sudden, bada bing, bada boom.
He pulls up his first red ever. He's never caught a redfish.
Oh, I caught red. But
I'm kidding.
It was a keeper, which have to be 18 to 27 inches, but it's a catch and release kind of day today. And while Trey was spotting for John, it was Sarah getting the job done.
Now watch, sometimes they'll come up and hit that bait that's on the line. I think she just got the big, oh!
I think she did.
While John was holding his own bringing in the snook, it was Sarah who caught the one to complete the bay slam, which is a snook, redfish, and now finally a trout.
Well, Bob, my glasses are fogging up because the fishing's so hot. Or maybe it's the weather, I don't know. But I got Sarah and John out here, and we caught plenty of snook today. Oh, if I can get this thing off the hook, we'll just hold it like that. Remember, take a kid fishing because someday it may take you.
He's doing better. He's got a long way to go to catch Captain Johnny Walker, his grandfather. Captain Scott Moore, he's been around here for 40 years too, catching some big. This one here is a redfish. That's a bull red right there, and appreciate that Jack catching that. And then his son, Captain Justin Moore, caught this bull snook, and that was 41 inches. I don't know if that's a real name, Miss Boring, but it's not too boring. Coach Steve Herrick had some clients as well. Snook season over, and it doesn't start up again until September. And a big drum caught right there with beach fishing adventures. And this started and kicked off tonight, the banquet anyway. And then the fishing starts this Saturday and goes through June 11th. You can still sign up. You don't have to go to the banquet. You can still sign up for that.
And take part in the tournament.
That's right. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Bob. More U.S. troops could be on their way to Afghanistan. Military officials told the Senate Armed Forces Committee today that they want to boost efforts to train Afghan troops in the fight against al-Qaeda and ISIS. A plan for more troops would be part of a broader set of recommendations on how to adjust the U.S. military approach in Afghanistan. The Pentagon plans to send those plans to the president within the next week. There are about 8,400 U.S. troops already in Afghanistan. The president is back in New York City for the first time since his inauguration. The visit not without controversy, however. ABC's Emily Rao is in the Big Apple, where the president paid a special visit to honor our veterans.
Fresh off his first major legislative victory, President Trump back in his hometown tonight, meeting with the Prime Minister of Australia and delivering remarks at an event on board the USS Intrepid. And just outside, hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has got to go. Hundreds of protesters with a different kind of greeting.
Maybe you should quit while you're ahead.
I'm outraged that he's coming to disgrace the ship that I served on.
The NYPD prepared to protect the commander-in-chief and the rights of protesters. 1,000 extra officers on hand to secure the area. President Trump not in the city for long. He's spending the weekend at his golf club in nearby Bedminster, New Jersey. Hundreds of protesters stuck around even after President Trump's motorcade arrived here at the Intrepid. Now, after the crowds do clear out, police will then be tasked with clearing away almost a mile's worth of metal barricades. Emily Rao, ABC News, New York.
A bill aimed at creating harsher penalties for synthetic drug traffickers hit a roadblock today as the State House rejected a provision added by the Senate that changed how judges hand out sentences. Under the Senate bill, judges would be allowed to break from mandatory minimum sentences for certain fentanyl cases. House members say not having minimum mandatory sentences defeats the purpose of the bill. It now heads back to the state Senate to be reconsidered. A small change to the state stand your ground law is heading to Governor Scott for approval. A new bill passed by the Senate today makes it clear residents don't have to be attacked before using force against someone threatening them in their home. The bill removes the word attacked from the law and adds language allowing people in a place they have a right to be to use force. However, they must have reasonable belief that they or others are in danger of death or great bodily harm. If approved, the change will go into effect in July. More recess and fewer tests could be on the way for students in Florida. The Senate voted unanimously for a bill that requires recess every day and also eliminates end-of-course exams in algebra 2 and in civics. If the bill becomes law, elementary schools would be required to set aside 20 minutes each day for free play recess. The bill would also push back testing dates. The bill now heads to the House. Hundreds of people on the Suncoast are living with HIV. Now, a Sarasota County organization is promoting a medication that can help prevent people from contracting the virus. The Community AIDS Network calls this a game changer in reducing the risk of getting HIV. It's called PrEP. It's a pill that is taken once a day if taken at the same time every day and used in conjunction with condoms. It is 99% effective in protecting you against HIV.
Most insurance companies are covering it, and those that don't have insurance, we have programs out there that are covering it. It's virtually free.
PrEP is also used in treating HIV as well. Sports is next, but here is Kristen Bell, who's in for Jimmy Kimmel tonight.
Whenever it's important that you see this. Do you want to be his prom date and go with Michael to the prom?
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce?
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by one on any or all numbers and still win.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301, SarasotaFord.com.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah, yeah.
Now, sports.
Buccaneers running back Doug Martin is recovering after suffering minor injuries in a car accident near the team's training facility. The Bucs general manager said in a statement that Martin had cuts and bruises and was evaluated by team medical staff before heading home. Martin is participating in the team's off-season conditioning program. He had 421 yards and 3 touchdowns last year when he missed 8 games because of injuries and a suspension for violating the NFL's policy on performance enhancers. The suspension is extending into this upcoming season. The Rays still at home tonight in St. Pete, wrapping up a 4-game series against the Miami Marlins. Beginning in the bottom of the second with 2 outs, Tim Beckham cracks a shot to left center, allowing a 2-run home run to get the team on the board. And the score now is 2-0 Rays. 2 innings later, deja vu, Beckham hits another homer, allowing 2 more runs. This is his 6th of the season. The Rays go up to have a 4-run lead. And now to the bottom of the 6th, Kevin Kiermaier with a base hit off the pitcher's glove helps bring the Rays up 5-0. They go on to win 5-1. Good news for Florida State fans. The university has extended basketball coach Leonard Hamilton's contract through the 2019-2020 season. Hamilton has coached the Seminoles for 15 seasons and is the winningest coach in school history. Florida State was 26-9 last season and made the NCAA tournament for the first time in 5 years. Next season will be Hamilton's 30th year as a college coach. He has a .482 and .406 record between Oklahoma State, Miami, and FSU. And in Orlando, the University of Central Florida football coach Scott Frost is also getting a 1-year extension. The school announced today that Frost's original contract will now run through the 2021 season. It includes a $300,000 annual raise. The Knights were 6-7 in Frost's first season and played in the Auto Nation Cure Bowl. He took over a program that was coming off an 0-12 season at the end of 2015. That's a look at sports. We'll have our lotto numbers right after this.
It took a lot of work and dedication for 7 teachers to start our credit union and create a foundation that we continue to build on today. At Achieva, we never lose sight of the values that have defined us for over 75 years. And that's good to know. Achieva, banking for good.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
It took a lot of work and dedication for 7 teachers to start our credit union and create a foundation that we continue to build on today. At Achieva, we never lose sight of the values that have defined us for over 75 years. And that's good to know. Achieva, banking for good.
In just a few weeks, the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus will perform its final show in Uniondale, New York. You can watch the performance live by logging onto Facebook. The company that owns the circus, Feld Entertainment, is located in Palmetto. Feld says the final circus performance on May 21st will be streamed live on the social media network and on the circus website. And that's a lot cheaper than apparently Scott Dennis was saying. Those tickets are going for thousands of dollars, some of them, for that final show.
The historic final performance right there.
Almost over.
It is. We are not over yet, this event for rainfall.
Right.
We could use some showers. Storms starting to develop in the Gulf of Mexico. We'll look for some possibility of some stronger cells just after 3 a.m.
Okay, so watch out for that. Hopefully you'll be asleep and won't even notice.
Yeah,
but
right. That's what I like.
Yeah, we could use a little rain.
We'll keep an eye out for it.
Right. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great evening.